Welcome to battle number 6 of week number 1 of the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This battle is going to be pitting Detroit Deinos, which is StarToad's team, versus Patch 3.0 Ivysaurs, which is Noob Scrub's team. As a reminder, the Mega Pokemon available is Mega Gardevoir for StarToad. Mega Venusaur did not appear for Noob Scrub. Additionally, the Z Pokemon available is Hydreigon with any Z move, and Stoutland with attack Z moves, respectively. Overall, this looks like it's going to be an interesting battle. We have some stall Pokemon from Noob Scrub, Celesteela, Quagsire, Hippowdon, and Blissey being able to stall pretty easily. Additionally, we do have some offensive threats. Stoutland can be a nice offensive threat, and so can Comfey if they're used in an offensive manner. On StarToad's team, we have some bulky offensive Pokemon, mostly not really a stall team, I'd say. Something that I would look into is the fact that Magneton can use Magnet Pool to trap and kill Celesteela if Celesteela is not careful. I think Magneton might be one of the Pokemon to watch out for because of that fact. Mamoswine also having the ability to break through some of the Pokemon that are supposed to be more defensive. So this will be one of those tests of the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Love seeing offense go against stall and seeing who is victorious in that matchup. It's going to be very interesting, and I think we can go ahead and begin and watch the battle unfold. For starters, I think we'll probably get Heatran to set up a Stealth Rock, maybe Hippowdon. Okay, we did get Hippowdon, Hippowdon, and then Orochi, the Hydreigon, going for the taunt, so Stealth Rock is not an option for Hippowdon in this moment. Smart move from StarToad, making sure that Stealth Rock can't be set up. In comes Comfey, Death Petal. Taking that Dark Pulse, it's not going to do too much damage. Orochi is in big trouble. I'm guessing we'll see a Heatran or Magneton switch in to take on... Oh, actually, Crobat. Draining Kiss is going to do 17%, regaining some health to Death Petal. Bruce Wayne, the Crobat. They're both at the low 80 percentile. Crobat can U-turn out of there. Celesteela comes in. Abs of Steela. 50% done from one Super Fang. That's a good stall breaker. But Celesteela can go ahead and go for the Leech Seed if it desires. Also go for the Earthquake for the Magneton switch-in prediction. Celesteela is in danger as long as Magneton is alive. So it's going to be risky if StarToad brings in Magneton at this point. For Celesteela to stay out, but it is risky for both sides. Celesteela does get Earthquake, it gets Substitute, so it has some tools to evade that Magneton death. And another taunt is going to go up Earthquake to predict that Magneton switch in, but it does not go through because Crobat is flying. Crobat looks like it's doing pretty well in this matchup, especially with taunt. Crobat and Hydreigon both using taunt. Pretty smart to deal with stall. And woof 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 comes out the Stoutland. Super Fang is going to do some damage. Stoutland does have increased speed in the Sandstorm, so these next two hits will probably be some pretty big ones. And a Return's going to hit, doing massive damage, taking it down to 2%. Brave Bird's going to take out Stoutland, dealing the rest of damage to Stoutland, but making Crobat go down in the process. Stoutland was a hard Pokemon for Noob Scrub to lose, but Crobat was a big obstacle in his way, especially for Comfey. In comes Magnetics, the Magneton, and Hippowdon, the Hippowdon. Hippowdon is now free to set up Stealth Rock if it so desires. And indeed, that's what it does. Mamoswine is now out. Swine Flu. And Icicle Crash does big damage, taking Hippowdon down to 35%. Superpower is also going to do big damage, taking Swine Flu down to 43%. And a knockoff does some big damage, getting rid of that Smooth Rock, but Superpower is going to get rid of the rest of Mamoswine's HP, and Hippowdon is barely hanging on by a thread. Whatever the next hit is will probably be enough to take down Hippowdon, but Hippowdon did do his job in taking down Mamoswine. In comes Orochi. It could go for the Defog, perhaps. No, it opts for the Dark Pulse, taking down Hippowdon, a 4-4 even score at this point. Will we see Comfey come in again to try and take on Orochi? With two Steel types, Comfey is not going to be too comfortable. Saffron City Sky, reference to the Chansey blasting off. And we see the taunt from Orochi against Blissey. Blissey's probably going to have to go for the Seismic Toss. Comfey comes out instead, getting taunted. Will we see Heatran or Magneton come in? It's very likely. Heatran is the one to come in, and Draining Kiss is barely going to do any damage to Heatran. Quagsire comes in, has to be careful for the Energy Ball. If Heatran gets Energy Ball, I forgot if it does. Maybe Hidden Power Grass. Quagsire looks like it is generally good in this matchup. There could be a Hidden Power Grass on one of them. Hydreigon is going to come in taking... Oh, actually Protect is what Quagsire opts to use. Probably to scout out whatever move Heatran was going to use. It looks like Hydreigon is a big threat in this matchup, being able to recover, but a Toxic is going to harm its longevity. Quagsire going for the Protect, getting that Dark Pulse. And Hydreigon's going to be damaged by Toxic a little bit more. In comes Gardevoir and Comfey. Trans writes the Gardevoir versus Death Petal the Comfey, but Absistila is going to come in instead. And Psyshock is going to do about 25%. Good switch to Celesteela instead of Blissey, because the Psyshock would have been very strong against Blissey. Thunderbolt might be enough to take down Celesteela, but will anything else be enough? We will see. Psyshock does have the power to damage Blissey a lot, but the rest of the Pokemon seem to be specially based, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to break through Blissey, so Blissey will be a good Pokemon for Noob Scrub to hang on to in this moment. And Celesteela goes for the Protect. Hyper Voice is the move that was used. A little bit more HP recovered from the leftovers. Will it be enough to survive a Leech Seed? A Hyper Voice. And Celesteela goes for the Heavy Slam. Magnetics is now out. Not a good matchup for Celesteela. Magneton going for that Volt Switch. Magneton probably going first. Yep, indeed, it goes first. Volt Switch is going to hit and take down Celesteela. And in comes Gardevoir, which is going to be really hard for the other Pokemon to deal with, especially since it has Psyshock to hit Blissey on the physical side. Comfey is going to be the one to come out to take on Gardevoir. And Comfey goes for the Giga Drain. That's going to do about 27%. Psyshock does pretty massive damage, 67%. Will Death Petal be able to survive? Another Giga Drain brings Gardevoir down. Comfey is now down to a Psyshock. Saffron City Sky comes out. Blissey just needs to get off one Seismic Toss, but can it survive a Psyshock? It can survive a Psyshock. There goes the Seismic Toss. Hydreigon's going to come out, probably to go for a Taunt versus Blissey. Blissey might go for the Protect to heal a little bit. And Taunt is not successful because of Protect. Blissey's now probably going to try to go for the Wish. Actually, instead, Quagsire comes out, taking the taunt. In comes Blissey. And a Dark Pulse is going to do 17% to Blissey, not too much. Blissey is now free to protect or use Wish, because it seems like Orochi might go for the Roost this turn, anticipating the Protect. It does go for the Roost this turn, anticipating that Protect. Will Blissey go for the Wish or get taunted? Double Protect does not work, so Taunt is now successful, but Blissey's up to 40% HP. And in comes Heatran. Blissey goes for the Seismic Toss. Heatran goes down to 64% after leftovers. Quagsire's coming in. Does Heatran have Hidden Power Grass? No, it has Toxic. Quagsire will probably recover this turn, I think. I think we could also maybe see Orochi coming out again to Roost now that Toxic won't be at its full damage dealing. I don't think Heatran is going to want to stay in versus Quagsire. Oh, actually it is. Quagsire goes for the Recover. And in comes Magneton. Will Quagsire use Earthquake? It does. Magneton is taken down by the Earthquake. I think Hydreigon is a likely pick for the next Pokemon to come out. Indeed, Orochi comes out. Now might be a good time to switch to Blissey. Orochi is probably going to go for the Roost. Indeed, it does now that Toxic is reset and it doesn't do that much damage. Blissey can now go for Protect, or it could go for Wish, depending on if Orochi is going to taunt or not. Blissey goes for the Protect, Orochi goes for the Roost again. Now Orochi is probably going to go for that taunt against Blissey so it can't heal. Actually, it goes for the Dark Pulse. Seismic Toss is going to deal some sizable damage to Orochi. Orochi's probably going to have to Roost if it wants to survive. Instead, Heatran comes out, and Heatran is now out. Blissey is able to successfully set up Wish, looking really good in Blissey's favor right now. It can protect and get that Toxic to fail. Something worth noting is that Blissey does have Natural Cure, so if it gets Toxiced by Virus, the Heatran, it is probably okay. It additionally has Heal Bell. I'm not sure if this particular Blissey has Heal Bell, however. Quagsire comes out to receive that Wish. Flamethrower is not going to do too much damage. Virus is not good in this scenario. Might be better to switch out back to Orochi. Maybe try to Roost up a bit, but this is going to be a little bit of a long battle as these last two Pokemon on each team are going to struggle to take each other down. Earthquake is going to miss due to the fact that Levitate prevents Earthquake from working. In comes Blissey. Orochi's going to go for that Roost. There's also another move that Orochi has that we don't know what it is. It might be Draco Meteor. I'm not really sure what it is. And in comes the taunt from Orochi, but Blissey is not trying to use Wish or Protect. Instead, it goes for the Seismic Toss. Orochi might have to switch now or go for another Roost, but I think the switch is more likely into Heatran. Actually, we see the final move, the Z move. Black Hole Eclipse. It's not going to do too much damage though because of Blissey's very strong special defense. Blissey is still under the effects of Taunt, so Heatran can come in and poison it, but Blissey still does not mind a poison because of Natural Cure. Things are looking good for Blissey. Heatran is going to have to try its best to hold on in these final moments of this battle. Quagsire is the one to come in next, taking that Flamethrower. Will it get an Earthquake off, or will Heatran be able to survive? And an Earth Power is going to do some damage, but Quagsire manages to take down Heatran with Earthquake, and it is a 2-0 victory for patch 3.0 Ivysaurs. Really close battle, got a little stally at the end. Both sides had leverage on each other throughout the battle. I think Mega Gardevoir was a big threat to the team. Before it came down, it was actually looking like Mega Gardevoir might have been able to take it, but at the end, Quagsire and Blissey formed a really good defensive core together and were able to manage through the final Pokemon on Startoad's team. Really interesting battle. I think that was a really close one. Morgana saying in the chat that was the best game we had so far. I do have to agree, that was really close, really exciting, and both sides fought really well till the end. So congrats on both trainers for their good performances. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting league for sure based on the outcomes of these battles. So moving forward, we have 2 more matches left of week 1. I hope you join me for those. Until then, this is Noel from Sun and Friendly, and I'll see you then.